Having the moon in Pisces in the first house means one is likely emotional, compassionate, and intuitive. They often have a deep understanding of others' feelings, making them empathetic and sensitive in dealings. However, they can be overwhelmed by their emotions and sometimes find it hard to maintain personal boundaries. In relationships, these individuals are typically loving, generous, and self-sacrificing. They need partners who can offer emotional security and understand their deep emotional needs. However, they are prone to being hurt due to their high sensitivity and may sometimes lose themselves in relationships. Career-wise, this placement can lead to success in fields requiring empathy and creativity. They could excel in caring professions like social work, counseling, or healthcare. Their imagination and intuition can help them in artistic or spiritual careers as well. Strengths of this placement include compassion, emotional perceptivity, creativity, and intuition. They're able to understand and relate to people on a deep emotional level. The challenges include emotional vulnerability, a tendency to self-sacrifice, and difficulty in setting boundaries. They may struggle with practical matters due to their emotional nature. Lessons for personal growth could involve learning to balance their emotions better, to establish healthy boundaries, and to channel their sensitivity in a productive way. They should also try to value their own needs as much as they value others and strive for emotional independence. Their strong intuition is a powerful ally if harnessed correctly, guiding them through life's challenges. Having the moon in Pisces in the second house marks a unique astrological configuration that shapes core personality traits, relationship tendencies, and career influences. Individuals with this placement are typically sensitive, empathetic, and intuitive. They are spiritually inclined and often seek deeper meanings in life's ordinary moments. Their emotional intelligence is strong, and they feel deeply. When it comes to relationships, Moon in Pisces in the second house favors those who show compassion and understanding. These individuals are loyal partners, valuing emotional connection over materialistic aspects. They're often seen as caregivers in their relationships due to their naturally nurturing persona. In the professional sphere, they may be drawn to careers involving creativity, caregiving, or spirituality. They might thrive in roles where they can emotionally connect with others, such as counseling or art therapy. Their empathetic nature is a strength, as it facilitates deep connections with other people. Their imagination and intuition can spark creativity, while their spirituality offers grounding balance. However, these individuals might face challenges, such as oversensitivity to criticism or situations, leading to emotional overwhelm. An inclination towards escapism might also be a challenge, as they may resort to dreams and fantasies to avoid the harsh realities of life. A significant personal growth lesson for these individuals can be learning to set emotional boundaries while maintaining their natural empathy. They may also need to learn that it's okay to prioritize their own emotional well-being in relationships. This configuration encourages an exploration of the balance between engaging with the world on emotional terms and withdrawing to nurture their inner selves. Those with their moon in Pisces in the third house often have empathetic, sensitive personalities. They are effective communicators, translating their deep feelings into words with ease. Their voices can resonate with the feelings of others, helping them understand their own emotions better. This makes them sensitive to the emotional states of those around them and often results in forming deep connections with others. In relationships, these individuals seek emotional depth and might often take the role of caretaker. However, their sensitivity might cause them to absorb others' emotional burdens, which can cause distress. Establishing emotional boundaries is a key lesson for them. In terms of career, positions involving communication, writing, teaching, or counseling could be fulfilling. Occupations involving creative expression might also appeal, as this placement often gifts a vivid imagination. Due to their intuitive nature, they could excel in roles where they need to understand others deeply, such as social work or counseling. Strengths in this placement may include compassion, strong intuition, creativity, and excellent communication skills. Challenges may include emotional sensitivity, a tendency to be secretive or elusive, being prone to bouts of melancholy, and occasional confusion about their own identity. Personal growth lessons may revolve around learning to set healthy emotional boundaries, balancing their need for solitude and social interaction, and utilizing their imaginative gifts for their betterment instead of escaping into fantasy. Harnessing their empathetic nature constructively in work and relationships can reap rewarding results. Having the moon in Pisces in the 4th house can lead to traits of deep empathy, sensitivity, and intuition. You might find yourself drawn to contemplative, artistic, or spiritual pursuits. The complex emotions that you feel may often push you to seek solitude and quiet settings. You value your privacy, and home is a sanctuary where you refuel and reconnect with yourself. In relationships, you are compassionate and understanding, but can also be very private. You tend to absorb the moods and emotions of others, which can sometimes be overwhelming. It's important to balance your empathetic nature with time for self-care and maintaining personal boundaries. Career-wise, this lunar placement may steer you towards work that not only serves a higher good, but also satisfies your deep emotional needs. You might excel in fields like mental health, social work, or the arts. One of the strengths of a moon in Pisces in the 4th house is an immense capacity for empathy and intuition. You have a deep connection with your inner world and an ability to perceive what's not often apparent on the surface. Your innate creativity and knack for introspection can make you a great healer, artist, or counselor. The challenges here could lie in your tendency to absorb others' emotions, making it easy to be overwhelmed. You might struggle with setting boundaries in relationships. It's also possible to get lost in your rich inner world, neglecting practical necessities. For personal growth, learning to balance your empathetic nature with self-care and healthy boundaries is key. Finding a career that aligns with your emotional and spiritual needs will also be beneficial. Having the moon in Pisces in the 5th house means you are a nurturing, deeply empathetic person. You are gifted with a vivid imagination and rich emotional life, often drawn to the creative arts. This sensitivity means you feel emotions, both yours and others, very deeply. You are also likely to be drawn towards caring roles as you have a strong urge to help others. In relationships, you desire emotional connection and understanding. You take relationships seriously, experiencing your partner's feelings as if they were your own. However, your tendency to idealize partners and situations may lead to disappointment. Your career preferences may lean toward healthcare, counseling, or creative occupations because of your innate capacity for understanding and aiding others. Your intuition is powerful and can guide you if you learn to trust it. Your main strength lies in your compassion. Your intuitive understanding of those around you endears you to others and can be your greatest asset. Yet, your desire for ideal situations and sensitivity can lead to emotional instability when interacting with harsh realities. Challenges for you include balancing your empathy with self-care, and learning to differentiate your feelings from those around you. You may find yourself drained if you do not set emotional boundaries. Personal growth comes from learning to harness your sensitivity, using it as a strength while avoiding becoming overwhelmed. Empathy and intuition are gifts, but they need to be managed with wisdom and appropriate boundaries to avoid emotional burnout. Trusting your intuition while staying grounded in reality is key for your growth journey. Having the moon in Pisces in the 6th house signifies a deep sense of empathy. Individuals with this placement often feel emotions intensely, and can be very receptive to the feelings of others. It is not uncommon for them to be strongly intuitive, making them excellent listeners and advisors. These people may also have a creative side, often expressing their feelings through artistic endeavors. In relationships, these individuals can be devoted partners. However, they may also struggle with establishing boundaries and might take on their partner's feelings or problems too readily. They may need to learn to balance their need to help others with their own mental and emotional health. Professionally, they might gravitate towards roles where they can use their empathic skills to help others. This could include careers in healthcare, counseling, or social work. The creative abilities associated with Pisces may also lead them towards the arts. A strength of this placement is the ability to understand and connect with others deeply. On the downside, they can become easily overwhelmed by their own or others' emotions. This might lead to periods of withdrawal or an overall sense of emotional fatigue. As for personal growth, these individuals can work on their tendency to overly empathize with others. They may need to learn how to set boundaries and ensure they are taking care of their own needs. This can help them balance their instinct to nurture and help others, keeping their own emotional health in check in the process. Their empathy, intuition, and creativity are powerful tools, but boundaries and self-care are key to reaching their full potential. The moon in Pisces in the 7th house implies a deep emotional connection with the spiritual world. This person is likely sensitive, compassionate, and has a natural inclination towards helping others. They often get caught up in other people's emotions and can struggle to separate their feelings from those around them. This placement suggests strong relationships, often playing the nurturing role in partnerships. They're drawn to people who need help, and empathy allows them to understand their partners deeply. However, they face the risk of losing themselves in relationships, becoming too dependent on their partners for emotional validation. Career-wise, they can excel in fields that require understanding and empathy, like counseling, healthcare, or social work. Their deep emotional insight and caring nature make them excellent in roles that involve supporting and nurturing others. However, they may struggle with practicality and may be vulnerable to manipulation or self-doubt. Positive traits associated with this placement include empathy, compassion, and emotional depth. They can connect with others on a profound emotional level, providing comfort and understanding. The challenge is that they can easily lose themselves in others' emotions, risking their emotional health. They have to learn to protect their emotional boundaries. A critical personal growth lesson for individuals with this placement is learning to balance their own needs with those of others. They need to learn that it's okay to prioritize their own emotional well-being sometimes. This can be a challenging, yet rewarding journey of self-discovery and emotional growth. With the moon in Pisces in the 8th house, this individual is likely deeply emotional, empathetic, and intuitive. They tend to pick up on the energy and feelings of people around them, which can sometimes be overwhelming. They have a natural ability to listen and understand others' problems, which could make them particularly skilled in roles such as counseling or coaching. In terms of relationships, this person might value emotional depth and intimacy, but may sometimes struggle with setting boundaries. This could result in them taking on the emotional burdens of their partners. Learning the importance of self-care and developing stronger boundaries is a significant growth lesson for these individuals. In a professional setting, their empathy and willingness to explore deep, often unspoken issues, might make them well-suited for careers in psychology, healing professions, or research. People with this placement might also be drawn towards careers related to finance or inheritance due to the association of the 8th house with other people's resources. However, this placement might also pose challenges. Their sensitivity might make them prone to emotional ups and downs, and they might struggle with knowing where they end and others begin. This can make it hard for them to make out their own goals from those of others. Among their strengths, however, the greatest is their empathy and deep understanding of human emotions. Once they learn to create boundaries and manage their own sensitivity, they can make a significant contribution, helping others navigate their emotional worlds. As they look inside and heal their own emotional patterns, they draw closer to their most authentic self, making this placement a productive journey of personal growth. Having the moon in Pisces in the 9th house shapes a personality with a deep emotional sensitivity and boundless imagination. These individuals often find themselves dreaming about what might be, beyond the boundaries of their everyday life. They can be significantly influenced by philosophical, spiritual, and intellectual explorations, as the 9th house represents foreign travel, higher education, and expansive thinking. Such individuals are usually empathetic and intuitive, especially in relationships. They have a tendency to deeply understand and feel others' emotions, which can be both a strength and a challenge. Thea. Excellent listeners and supportive partners, but this emotional absorption can, at times, lead to emotional overwhelm. In terms of career, they might excel in fields that require creativity, intuition, or emotional intelligence. Roles in art, spiritual counseling, psychology, or traveling professions could be fulfilling for them. However, they may also struggle with practical and routine tasks, which could be challenging in work environments preferring predictability and protocols. These individuals often embark on personal journeys of self-discovery, and one of their growth lessons might be learning the balance between dreams and reality. They might need to focus on grounding their ideas, setting discernible goals, and learning to protect their emotional well-being. While their capacity for empathy, imagination, and spiritual exploration is a remarkable gift, effectively managing these traits can unleash their full potential, creating enriching relationships and a fulfilling career. Having the moon in Pisces in the 10th house generally signifies a dreamy, compassionate, and imaginative personality. This person likely has a sensitive nature with a rich emotional life. This sensitivity, coupled with a natural intuition, often leads to strong empathy towards others. In relationships, this placement suggests a nurturing, supportive partner who is genuinely interested in their partner's emotional well-being. This person may even absorb the emotions of those around them due to their high empathy levels. However, they might have a tendency to escape reality, risking falling into fantasy or dependency, which can be a challenge. In terms of career, the 10th house is associated with professional life and reputation. This placement could lead to a successful career in a creative or healing profession, such as art, music, counseling, or healthcare. Their strong intuition along with their empathy towards others could make them excellent in these fields. The strengths of this placement are creativity, intuition, empathy and emotional connectivity. Challenges may include escaping reality, dependency, emotional vulnerability, and struggling with structure or authority. To experience personal growth, the person with this placement might need to learn how to set boundaries and protect their emotional energy, while also finding a balance between their dreamy nature and reality. Trusting their intuition without losing themselves in daydreams is key. In summary, this placement suggests a deeply emotional and empathetic individual with a creative career path. Having the moon in Pisces in the 11th house means the individual tends to be intuitive, empathetic, and imaginative. They may have strong emotions and feel deeply connected to mankind and the universe. This placement often suggests a person who is sensitive to the emotional environment around them, with a unique ability to understand and absorb others' feelings. Relationship-wise, they are usually thoughtful and nurturing partners, seeking deep and emotional connections. These individuals may be drawn to partners who share their humanitarian views and interest in societal issues. They might also expect a certain level of emotional support and understanding in their relationships. In professional life, their emotional depth and empathy can make them successful in careers related to healing, art, social services, or spirituality. They may be drawn to roles where they can make a positive impact on society or help others. The main strengths of this placement include an uncanny ability to comprehend others deeply, a high level of creativity, and a strong desire to bring about societal change. However, their propensity for strong emotions may make them prone to mood swings, which can be a challenge. They might also struggle with setting boundaries in relationships due to their extremely empathetic nature. Personal growth for this individual may involve learning to balance their deep empathy with self-care, developing firmer emotional boundaries, and finding healthy outlets for their strong emotions. They should also learn to use their creative and intuitive skills in a productive manner. This placement suggests a compassionate and intuitive nature, with high emotional intelligence. The moon in Pisces brings out emotional depth and lends a natural psychic ability, making it easy to understand and resonate with others' emotions. This might lead to a tendency to be overly sensitive and easily overwhelmed, representing a key challenge. It's important to ensure this sensitivity is not exploited, as there's a strong inclination to help others, sometimes sacrificing personal needs. In relationships, the person may be a nurturing partner, very receptive to their partner's feelings. The downside is the potential for being overly dependent, which may lead to codependency if not careful. Communication and establishing boundaries can help mitigate this. The presence of the moon in the 12th house, often associated with spirituality and the unconscious, could mean a career in healing, counseling, or the arts might be fulfilling. This position also suggests an inner need for solitude and spiritual exploration. Balancing the need for alone time and interaction with others may present a challenge. Strengths encompass enhanced intuition, empathy, and creativity. Challenges may include emotional hypersensitivity, a tendency for self-sacrifice, and difficulty setting boundaries. A potential personal growth lesson is to learn how to use emotional intelligence to aid others without neglecting personal welfare. Recognizing and respecting personal boundaries can also lead to significant growth. The beauty of this placement lies in the capacity for deep emotional understanding and spiritual connectivity.